guys ready? Jules, are you ready? All right. So, okay, let's start. So welcome to our live webinar for this month, October. And our webinar is called Paradigm Shift. And this is year 3. All right. So Jules, can you tell them first what are our housekeeping rules so that we can streamline this webinar properly?
So hi, I hope you guys can hear me. Hello, you can?
Can you hear Jules, guys? Can you hear him?
Am I clear? Is my audio clear?
Because I can't seem to hear him.
Hello, testing mic. Okay. Right, say hi in the comments and tell us if you are a freelancer, or an aspiring freelancer and where you are from. And then please turn off your microphones while we are on hold. Now, if you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to write it down or in the comment section. We'll just circle back to them afterwards. We will do our best to answer those at the end of this webinar. And then the webinar will run for about an hour. So please get yourself cozy, relax. And then if you can, please keep your microphones off. And then if you can pay attention, and that would be great. Yeah. Keep your microphones off and then
Are you done, Jules?
All good.
Yeah, because I can't hear you earlier. Okay. So yes. So guys, please stay until the end of this webinar for the specs of the 21-day challenge. And what is the 21-day challenge? We're going to explain later. And it is really, it is the crux of this whole webinar. So yes, as I've said, this is year 3 of the Paradigm Shift webinar. We started this last 2020 when we first created the article and design community. So this is year 3. It is more than a tradition already. So it is a movement that we've been doing because we've seen a lot of progress. We've seen a lot of individuals who benefited from this shift or paradigm shift webinar that we've been doing. So later on, Jules will show you how these individuals progress. So it is more than a tradition. It is a movement, and it is part of the culture of art and design. So in year 1, these are some of the participants. If you can see, that's me, the Margaret one, and Jerome. So we started, I think we are 8 participants in our year 1 last 2020. So this is Jerome Estimada, who did a digital drawing, and I myself, I actually did a running on the treadmill or outdoors for 21 days. So year 2, so we had a lot of recruit. I think we were, if I'm not mistaken, there are 15 or 18 challengers, okay, who joined the paradigm shift. So this is Ed Escreta. Say hi, Ed. So Ed is here. So this is Ed Escreta. You can see the biceps, guys. So Ed Escreta did an exercise challenge for himself. And of course, this is John Michael Costa Serrano. This is Kilo. He is a photographer. I don't know if Kilo is here. So Kilo's paradigm, I think Kilo was the winner, if I'm not mistaken, of last year's paradigm. So Kilo's paradigm shift challenge was really, really amazing. It is a stop motion design. So he did 21 stop motion designs last year. So it was really massive, but he did it. He completed it. So these are just some of the examples of the paradigm shifts that we've done last year. And guys, I'm looking forward for year 3. All right. So what are we going to do with year 3? But before that, we're going to explain to you what is a paradigm shift and how it works and how are you going to adapt it in your daily lives as a freelancer or business owner. So for those who are new here, just a quick intro. What is article and design, or who is article and design, by the way? So welcome again to everyone here who are new to article and design. Hold on. I have to record this. I already recorded it. So, okay. So again, welcome to Article and Design. So if you're new here, who are we in a nutshell? So Article and Design is actually a community of people. So we call ourselves freelancers or independent contractors doing work we love. All right. So, and the good thing here is we are earning from it. All right. So we are earning from it. That's us in a nutshell. So our mission, we have a lot of mission, but the main mission of Article and Design is to teach everyone who are earning from doing work we love that you can get paid often, right? So that you can turn your service-based business into a sustainable business, and you can set clients for life to avoid chasing clients after clients. So that is the main mission. And the mission actually is to develop 1 million freelancers, all right, to become super freelancers who are happy with their freelancing lives. Okay, so welcome to Art and Design. If you like our mission, please, guys, feel at home, join us. If you want to build a freelance business around your lifestyle, as I've said, you found your home, and we're going to do our best to make it work. All right. So we also have a preference for people in the Asia Pacific or Southeast Asia, or especially Filipinos, because we understand that these places or these countries are where most of the underrated talents are found. Okay, do you agree with me? You guys are talented, right? So, but the thing is, the downside of that, we're not actually very recognized. I mean, we're not yet that recognized. Okay, so, but everyone is welcome here. It doesn't matter where you're from, everyone is welcome here. So that is Article on Design. And of course, it is founded by, I don't know, who the hell is that? It's founded by Margaret, myself. So I'm a freelance digital marketing strategist. I'm based in Australia, and I've been doing this since 2011. So again, I would like to emphasize that we do not discriminate here. We're an equal opportunity community. We don't care about your race, your gender, your religion, what have you. So everyone is welcome here. Okay. So if you wanted to know more about us and the content we produce, so just go to our Spotify and YouTube. We also have a podcast, so it is called Article on Design Podcast. And of course, we highly, highly suggest that you guys join us on our Discord channel, because we're there every day. As you can see, Ed is there, Ed Esqueta. He's one of my, I think we are co-workers, Ed, right, on Discord. So please join us on Discord, guys. It's Article and Design. All right. If you can, if anybody here from the Article on Design Discord can share the Discord link, guys, please share in the chat section below. Okay. Again, if you wanted to know more about us and if you want to be part of the community that we're building, so please go to www.articleondesign.com. Please sign up there, or just follow our blogs and whatever we produce, the content we produce for you. Our website is 90% still, we're still finishing something there. So some of the links might not work, but feel free to browse whatever you wanted to consume. So again, so that's it. Welcome to Art and Design. And of course, I'd like to introduce our speakers for tonight. So we have two speakers, speaker one and speaker two. So speaker one, well, surprise, that's me. Okay. So hi, I'm Margaret Solapes, and I am a digital marketing strategist for over 10 years now. So just guess what's my age is now. So I'm the owner of Article and Design. And again, I started this in 2012, Article and Design, but the community we started 2020. And of course, personally, I just love coffee and of course, sunset. And I am a practitioner, not a guru. And I'm proud to say that because all of the things that we teach in Article and Design is not based on theory. It is based on practices because we do it ourselves. All right. So you can read more about what I do. If you wanted to hire me, if you wanted to collaborate with me, just visit my website at margaretslaus.com.au and you'll know more about me. Okay. Just read my blog and comment there if you want. Again, so our speaker number two is Jules Rivera. So Jules, indulge yourself, do the honors to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jules Rivera. I'm an AD community manager. I also freelance part-time for A&D. And then I'm also a graduate of the Super Freelancers course, one of the pioneering course that was produced by Article and Design by their creative lab. And then I work full-time. And then, yeah, as I've said, I freelance part-time. Wow, you can read more about me on what I write, actually on Article and Design's blog. And you can just go to that link and then you can see my works there.
Yep. So yeah, so here are your speakers. So I hope you bear with us tonight. Okay, so before we start, just a quick advertisement, guys. So we have an upcoming webinar on November 12th. It is called A&D Zoom Connections. So it is 2 p.m. in the Philippines or Singapore time. So who is our guest speaker? We have a guest speaker, the founder of Redefining Concepts from Manila, Philippines, Red Punsalan. So Red is a fashion or celebrity photographer. So he has worked with a lot of celebrities in the Philippines as well. So he is going to share with us a topic which is close to his heart, which is called your multi-potential self, easily organizing your many interests. So if you're a freelancer or a creative individual who has a lot of skills, who are pursuing a lot of things, Red will teach us how to streamline those multi-potential talent of yours. So please subscribe. Register. Just go to www.artagondesign.com/events, and you just find this photo of Red and click that button, and you'll be registered on the upcoming webinar. So that is on November 12th. It's free, and please, I highly recommend, guys, that you join this because this is a very interesting topic. Okay. So, all right, disclaimer, and this is very important because we're talking about some mindset shifts, some development. We just would like to put it out there that we are not doctors, okay? We're not psychologists, or we're not expert on this topic or on this matter, on self-development or growth. The point here is we are sharing this concept, this paradigm shift concept with you because we encourage you to look at this part of your growth in your life. Okay, we encourage everyone to try to check the self-development department, okay, of your individuality, because it will help you in navigating this freelancing. So the things that we'll discuss here are from a point of view of a freelancer, us ourselves, okay, from based on our personal experiences and what we learned. So as I've said, we're not just telling you because we read something, a book. These are also part of our experiences, okay? So we encourage you actually to seek professional help if and when you can, if you think you are having a problem with this type of issues. Okay, so we are only here sharing what worked for us, and of course for infotainment or educational purposes only, and for us to be accountability partners of each other. All right, so without any further ado, so what is the topic for tonight in this live webinar? You are going to learn just 3 things, all right? What is a paradigm shift and why is it important? That will be discussed by me, and the practical steps, all right, in changing your paradigm shifts. And that will be discussed by Jules, and he will tackle the power of one thing, and of course, how to apply the creative mindset formula and how to change by changing your paradigm. And of course, last but not the least, we are encouraging you to join the 21-day challenge, which is year 3. And I'm going to discuss its specs later on by the end of this webinar. So we're not gonna take so much of your time, guys. We're gonna try to make this faster, okay? So are you guys ready? If you're ready to shift that paradigm, please comment below, say yes, okay? While I'm going to drink my water, please say yes in the comments below if you're ready. You're not ready, guys? All right. Okay. Are you ready to shift that mindset? Are you ready to shift that paradigm? All right. Yes. Okay, let's start. So first is, I'd like to start this topic with a question. What are your self-doubts and limiting beliefs on top of mind? What is it that what are your fears, your common fears in relation to your work or to your freelancing that are affecting your work? Okay, affecting in a way negatively. So what are these self-doubts that you have? Okay, can you share in the comments? Back when I was starting my freelance career in 2011, my main self-doubt and limiting belief was, I told myself, because I started as a freelance writer, so, and I have no educational background in becoming a freelance writer, etc. So I told myself, maybe I can't do this. Maybe exactly what Ed said, I'm not enough because I have no educational background as a writer, and I don't know a thing or two about business. All right. So that was my main self-doubt before. But later on, you'll learn my story. So I'm not enough. All right. So how is it affecting your work, Ed? If you're thinking you're not enough. Okay, guys, please don't be shy. Just share in the comments below. So first, before we shift that paradigm, we have to understand what is a paradigm shift. So first, what is a paradigm? It seems like a very scientific word, right? But paradigm is simply, it means that it is a basic assumption or simply your way of thinking. Okay? It is just how you think. Usually in scientific terms, they refer to paradigms as it is commonly accepted by a group of people before. Okay, so they have this belief system. So it could be you say, that's kind of hard to understand, Margaret, but let's put it simply. Okay, so let's try to put it in on a freelancer to freelancer basis. So what is paradigm? Paradigm is basically your framework, your set of beliefs, and your principles. So I was saying earlier, you can have a paradigm or belief system that the earth is round. Another paradigm is you can think, hey, I believe that the earth is flat. Okay? So it's just your belief system. Next is that as an individual, it is your way of looking at something. So just basically your point of view. So when I give Jules, okay, Jules, think of eyeglasses. If I ask you to wear this blue or green glasses, okay, all of your lenses will turn into green. I mean, the way you see things, your world will become green. So that's what you believe, okay? Because I gave you a lens that is colored green. So that is actually your paradigm. Jules will say, oh, the world is so beautiful. It's so emerald. It's all green. You're green. I'm green. All right? And then I'm going to take that off, that glasses, and I'm going to change it with the blue one. All right. So Jules will start to accept another paradigm, which is the blue paradigm. So Jules will tell to himself, oh, the world is so beautiful. It's blue. You're blue. I'm blue. Make sense? All right. So it's just an analogy. Again, as I've said, paradigm consists of many of your beliefs. It could be your self-image. It could be your mindset about money. It could be your ideal weight. Okay, it could be your definition of success, your confidence, and your relationship. So it could be anything. So a paradigm has something to do with the mind. Make sense? So we now understood what is a paradigm. So you've mentioned earlier, Margaret, that about mindset. So are paradigm and mindset different? No, it's not. But these concepts are interrelated to each other. I'll explain why. So paradigm is actually your template, your framework, or your belief system. Mindset is your attitudes or the habits that you're going to do towards that framework. Make sense? So in other words, paradigm is just like your faith, what you believe. If you're religious, guys, paradigm is just like your faith. Okay, and what you're doing with that faith is habits. Those are your mindsets. So the things you do based on your attitudes or habits are towards your faith because that's what you believe. All right. So I think I have stressed enough what is a paradigm. So why is it important, Margaret, as freelancers? And do I develop one or do I need to develop a paradigm? So how do I develop one? Guys, even if we think we don't have a paradigm, we still have developed a paradigm even when we were younger. Because before we came to this world, we were programmed by our parents. Okay? So many of our belief system or our paradigms are passed on to us by our parents. Okay, allow me to share with you my attempt to motion design or visual design, how our beliefs are passed on to us since we were infants. So this is mom, this is dad. Okay, so mom and dad are happy. They wanted to have a child. So they created you. All right. So mom's DNA and dad's DNA are passed on to you as an infant. And of course, all their teaching, their belief systems are passed on to you. All right. So you become an adult and you have adapted those belief system. And again, this is you today. So as an individual, as an adult individual, how you think, the way you see things are actually passed on to you while you're growing up. So that is your paradigm now. Okay. So your paradigm, as I've said earlier, it involves a lot of mindsets. For example, what I mean. So when you were younger, while you were growing up, so your parents told you that, you know what, in order for you to get a good paying job, Margaret, you have to go to school. Because if you don't go to school, you'll never find a job. Okay? That was the belief system that was given to you. So that was the paradigm that you adapted from you were younger. So my point being here is that we already have a paradigm, even if we're growing up, because it was programmed to us. But the question now is, not all paradigms are actually beneficial. Okay? There are some paradigms that are actually ridiculous and detrimental to our growth. Later on, we will touch it. Okay? So it is very important because it is how we think, and how we think affects what we do. Make sense? So how it manifests. For example, I'd just like to really put an emphasis on this, right? So entrepreneurial paradigm. So I developed this one, for example, in my case, because I was younger, my grandfather is a business owner. So he is actually an orphan. He didn't graduated in college. He has no college education, but he became a business owner. And he told me, I remember when I was younger, that, you know what, Margaret, you wanted to be rich, you don't just go to a day job, you have to build a business. So that was the paradigm he taught me when I was younger. So while I was growing up. So I have developed an entrepreneurial paradigm. So if there's an opportunity, I perceive business everywhere. So what happened when I was 11 years old, my cousin and I, who is now in Dubai, it was summer before the start of the school year, we decided that we wanted to save money. So we decided we can't rely on our allowances. So we wanted to sell something, right? So we decided, why won't we sell street food to our neighborhoods? So if any of you here, you guys know what is this? What type of street food is this, right? If you're in the Philippines or you're a Filipino, this is called banana queue or barbecue, right? So my cousin and I sold this to our neighborhood so that we could save a lot of money. Okay, because I have developed an entrepreneurial paradigm because my grandfather told me, right? But later on, there was an issue with this paradigm that I developed, because the paradigm that both my parents told me are quite different from this. Okay, so why is it important again to freelancers? As freelancers, we are business owners, so our paradigms and ways of thinking are critical to our success, as I've said. Because what we think, we become. If you think that you are not enough, if you think that you can't get past $1,000 a month, then that's never going to happen, because that's what you think of yourself. So our thoughts mainly affects our reality. Okay? So if the paradigm that you've been programmed is detrimental to your growth and success, you can shift that. That's the beauty of it. And Jules will actually share to you later how to shift that. All right? So I'm going to have a water break. So how are we doing, guys? So I can see actually the members here. So please, everyone who is new here, please say hi in the comments below. Okay. If you're new here and where you're from. All right, so let's start. So again, why is it very important? Because it affects our reality. It affects what we do, because there's what you call the subconscious and unconscious mind. So guys, this is very scientific. So I'm just going to try and explain this in a very easy way. What happens with the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and body? So our conscious mind is our thinking mind. This is like our reasoning. Okay, so whatever info you accept in your conscious mind, you will choose to accept it or reject it. Okay, so that's what our conscious mind is doing. But the problem now is 95% of what we're doing is actually from our subconscious mind, what our subconscious mind is telling us. And the subconscious mind's problem is, guys, it cannot reject anything. Okay, it was the subconscious mind role is to just accept it, accept what you think is the reason, all right, is the logic for that one. So you just accept it if that's your subconscious mind. So now that's why the emotions, which is your subconscious mind, is very important. How you feel. In other words, some people will relate to feeling as vibrations. So whatever you feel, whatever you vibe, that's what you're going to do, right? That's what your hands will do. So again, this is just the pathway. So conscious mind, you accept or reject it, and then it will be processed by your subconscious mind. 95%, your emotional mind will decide, and then that will be adapted by your body. So that's why it's very important what we think affects our reality. What we think of ourselves affects our reality. So I'm not going to play this because we're running out of time, but this is a video from Bob Proctor, which is I basically just explained, okay, what happens to the conscious mind, subconscious mind, and how we accept it. All right. So my question now is, Margaret, what if the paradigm shift that I've been programmed is detrimental, is not good to my success as a freelancer? The answer to that is you can shift it. Okay, that's why we call it paradigm shift. Your belief system that is not good, you can shift that. I'm not good enough. I can make 1 million. I can become a freelancer. All right. So you can just switch that toggle into on and off. If you're a UX designer, you're familiar with this one, right? So it's just a toggle that you switch. So that's how beautiful our mind is, guys, because we can actually change how we accept things, change how we perceive things. So my challenge to you right now, or our challenge to you guys right now, if you have specific belief system that is not good, all right, to your growth, change that or shift that into a new paradigm. So for example, Ed said, I'm not good enough. What if you turn that, Ed, into, you know what? I can be good enough, all right? I am good enough. So your old paradigm, Ed, that is you're not good enough, you turn it off. And then let's replace that with a new paradigm. Okay? So again, a paradigm shift is basically you're replacing a new and different way of belief system, okay? And you accept it as the new system, and then that will be your new fate, your new framework. So from now on, if you have this new paradigm, you're going to follow that. Your habits, your attitudes will circle on that new belief system. Make sense? So if you think wala ka ng pag-asa, may pag-asa ka pa, actually. All right? So guys, could you understand Tagalog here? So if wala kang pag-asa, laging sinasabi na, Margaret, hanggang dito lang ako, hanggang $5 per hour lang ako. Hindi na pwede kasi saturated ng freelancing. All right? So if you think that way, then you're not gonna move. All right. So Bob Proctor said, we are not short on knowledge because as I've been saying, there's a lot of information on the internet, even article on design. When you just go to our YouTube channel, there is a 1 hour step-by-step process on how to start freelancing. There is a 2 hour step-by-step process on how to market yourself. There is another 1 hour on how to choose a profitable skill to offer. The problem now is your discipline. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you watching it? All right. So the problem now is behavioral. It's not anymore lack of information. It is behavioral patterns. So our challenge is to start changing what's inside. If you wanted something to change, it's life mo. All right, Margaret, I'm not happy with my salary right now, but I think this is the only thing I can do. I can't anymore arrive to $5,000 per month. I can never be a millionaire, Margaret. I live in the Philippines. Our government is this and that. There's a lot of there's 100 reasons. Okay, you keep on telling yourself. So what if you start changing what's inside? you start changing how you think of yourself, and please apply discipline and action. And later on, Jules will tell you how to do that if you're having a hard time changing your paradigm shift. So again, start changing what's inside. Because if you're not going to change what's inside, you're going to have a hard time to produce your desired results. So meaning to say, when it comes to your body, right, you are what you eat. Okay, you wanted to have some six-pack abs, but you keep on eating unhealthy food. Do you expect yourself to have a six-pack abs? Obviously not, right? So it goes the same here. You have to change how you view life if you wanted to have a drastic change. Right? So, for example, just a mere example. This is current self, point A to point B, your desired self. The gap here is your set of belief system. Okay, your paradigm shifts, your mindset. So what you think about yourself and what you're going to do about it. So let me show that to you. How? So I am only worth $2 per hour, Margaret. That is my paradigm. That is my belief system. So what will happen? Conscious, subconscious, you accepted that, and your body tells you, okay, I'm just worth $2 per hour, so I'm going to accept clients that are only paying me $2 per hour. Make sense? What if we turn the toggle, Jules, right? We switch that into, I think I am worth $50 per hour, Margaret. Okay, but frankly, guys, you're worth more than this. Okay, so let's just for brevity example. So I am worth $50, Margaret, because you know what? I can provide solutions. I could solve that client's problem. Okay, I know how to solve that one. So the gap here is what you think, and what will happen to you eventually. You get clients paying you $50 per hour because that's what you think of yourself. Make sense? So you can say, Margaret, that's a common sense. You know what, guys? Not all common sense are common practice. So that's why we keep on telling you these things. Because again, we have behavioral issues. Information is there, but we don't accept it. We don't change our behaviors towards it. And here we are now again. I am your mother telling you to change that behavior. So, okay, Margaret. Okay, if you're really a proponent of paradigm shift, what happened to your life? If once I changed my paradigm, so what happened to my life? I mean, so how it made a difference in my life when I adapted this paradigm shift. So if you remember earlier, I told you that my grandfather told me that in order for me to become rich, I have to create a business, that's true. But then again, my parents, okay, my mom and dad told me, you know what? In order for you to be successful and get rich, you have to be a doctor, Margaret, or a lawyer. Okay, that's what my parents told me. Okay, so when I grow up, I wanted to be a doctor, something like that. So, but then again, no matter how hard I tried, I'm not a doctor. I'm not born to be a doctor. I'm not born to be a lawyer. So I changed that new paradigm into, you know what? Being a doctor or a lawyer is not the answer to a happy life or to be successful. I can create my own path and be successful in other areas, just like this. Okay. So what happened to me? Just a quick story. So on the left side, this is my old paradigm. So I started as I graduated a preparatory for medicine, a BS biology graduate. Then I didn't go to med school because I was like telling my parents that, hey, I wanted to work first. So I worked in a corporate company. I was trained in Shanghai. And then again, I told my parents, Mom, I don't want to be a doctor. Probably I should be a lawyer. Okay. So I went to law school. Okay. I went to law school. And then I bumped into freelancing. But then again, what is freelancing? This is not a real job. And then again, I stopped law school when I was in second year. Then I worked in Malaysia and I worked in a publishing company. But then again, I said, you know what? This is enough. This is enough. What do I want? Okay. What is my mindset? What is my paradigm? What do I believe? So that was the time at this part that I changed my paradigm, which is my new paradigm, is that I could create something out of myself without being a doctor or a lawyer. All right. So I changed my paradigm. Then I focused into freelancing in 2011. And then everything was streamlined into freelancing and business. So my grandfather was right. So that entrepreneurial paradigm that my grandfather taught me was actually what I wanted to do. and what I'm really capable of doing. So 2012 Article in Design was founded. It was an agency, and then I've created a lot of other businesses such as Discoverment Apple and other businesses in London. And of course, in 2020 we created this. So guys, my point being is, if I didn't accept this new paradigm, I will never be here right in front of you. Okay? Probably, I don't know, I'm still studying law or I'm still studying in medical school. I don't know. So when I changed my paradigm, everything happened the way I wanted it to be, or the way I'm happy about. All right? So common examples of paradigm shifts and your limiting beliefs and self-doubts as a freelancer. So you can say, I can't be a great freelancer, Margaret, because I'm not good in English. So to those of you who are living in Southeast Asian countries or developing countries who are not native English speakers, you might tell this to yourself, hey, I can't speak fluent English. So what if you change that into, you know what, I have the ability to improve myself if I take action now. All right. So another limiting beliefs that you have or old paradigm could be, you know what, Margaret, I wanted to be a motion designer, but I'm not educated. I'm not college educated, so I can't be a graphic designer or motion designer. What if you switch the toggle into, I'm not a graduate of design school, but I have the ability to learn new things by watching resources, all right, and developing self-discipline. Okay, because you can't just manifest, guys. You can just switch your mindset and not doing anything. Okay, so another thing is, I don't have enough money and my parents are poor. So Margaret, I will never, ever be rich. Okay, guys, let me tell you this. There is no rule. Okay, there's no rule on who are the individuals who are allowed to be rich or probably successful. There's no rule. Okay, so why won't you shift that into, I can make myself and my family rich? All right. You can see the drastic differences once you adapted this old paradigm or your self-doubts into a new paradigm. You can see a very drastic way of thinking, right? So from the 30 minutes or 20 minutes that I mentioned earlier, the gist there is actually what you think or what we think we become. All right. That's just the summary of all the things I've mentioned earlier. So to be able to shape your future, you have to be willing to shape your paradigm. So as I've said, if you are adapting a paradigm that is limiting you to be successful, I think now is the time to change that. All right. So again, I'd like to emphasize this first before Jules will explain to you how to adapt a new paradigm. Again, guys, all of the things that I mentioned is useless, okay, if you don't have discipline and if you don't apply consistent action. Because changing your mindset and visualizing things is useless if you're not doing the action. It's just all in your mind, okay? It's just all in your mind. But mind is really important because that's what's triggering you to do things. So guys, again, mindset, the right paradigm, plus taking consistent action through developing self-discipline is very important. Don't be this person, okay? I don't always do my job, but when I do, it's the bare minimum. So you wanted to earn 1 million, you wanted to be successful, you have massive ambitions to yourself, but you're just doing the bare minimum, okay? So you get the idea. So again, how to change your paradigm if you have something that you think that is not good or healthy to your success. So Jules, can you tell us how to change our paradigms?
All right, let's start. Next question. So now that we understand what a paradigm is, so thanks to Margaret, the question begs to be asked, how exactly do we change or shift our paradigm? So any answers, you can feel free to leave it in the chat. Next slide, please. Now, Bob Proctor, who was a renowned expert on the mind, human potential, and success, mentioned two ways actually. We can change our paradigm by one, through emotional impact, and two, through repetition. Now, how do we differentiate the two? The first most often requires an external force that alters your state of being. Typically, this outside influence is of negative nature, but it could be positive as well. So this could look like getting fired or quitting from a job or realizing the career path you're in is not the one for you. Like how Margaret realized now, okay, I'm not fit to be a doctor. I'm not fit to be a lawyer. I'm going to make a path for myself. So that's how she shifted her paradigm. And then, but would you want to wait for a life-altering event or would you want to actually start now? Because the second way to actually change your paradigm is to actually do it in the same manner. In the same manner that it was formed. And how is that? How are paradigms formed? They are formed through repetition. Now, if you expose yourself to the same idea, perform the same action over and over with the goal of replacing the old, whether that's a habit, a way of thinking, whatever, you can actually eventually shift your paradigm. Now, before we proceed, next slide. What was your intention for joining tonight's webinar? You can actually just leave that in a comment below and then we'll circle back to that later. Now, the reason I'm actually asking that is because the only way and reason for you to succeed is to become intentional. Intention is very important. No, this is not something you can do in a way I'm like, oh, I'm going to participate in this challenge because it's exciting and new, or because out of boredom, or you're in need of a distraction. Because if you can't follow through, then what's the point? You need to realize that in order for you to actually really succeed is to have commitment and action. You have to embody the intention and not be merely well-intentioned. Let me repeat that. You have to embody the intention and not be merely well-intentioned. It's not enough for you to say now, oh, I have this idea and then, okay, I'm going to do this. Pero you're not following through. Then how will those intentions actually be fruitful on your end if you're not doing any work to actually produce the desired result? So next question. Okay, so if our intention is to actually shift our paradigm, where do we start? We start with one thing. So the power of one thing done, as you said here, one thing done once is an experience. One thing done twice has your attention. One thing done often is a pursuit. And then one thing done always is a habit. So if you're doing this always, this is actually how paradigms are formed. By the start of one thing, regardless of how your parents raise you or how society has developed you as an individual, eventually you as a full-grown adult, you are capable of thinking for yourself, doing things by yourself, and then eventually you develop your own paradigm. But some of these paradigms in your life or in your state of being are not exactly helpful, or as Margaret said earlier, are actually detrimental to you. So how do we actually start changing our paradigm? We started one thing. Now, the power of one thing, according to Randy Carlson, a licensed therapist and who has a doctorate in counseling and more than 2 decades worth of experience, you can actually change your paradigm by doing the power of one thing. By following the power of one thing, you can change and determine the quality of your lives. As when you choose to do something differently, and then these choices become your new habits, and then your new habits change your character, which ultimately shifts your paradigm. Pero it's it's not like a one all and all be all. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing and then eventually my life will change. Like it's not like an instant 180 degree. Like me thinking I would be able to actually become like a decent human being in the morning if I just like get enough sleep. But in the end, it doesn't always happen the right way. So if we perceive it this way, we don't actually need to start with something grand in order to achieve the change we want. We just need to start with one thing, like undoing our self-limiting beliefs and doubts, because it's not enough for us to actually have this knowledge, right? And not act upon it. So knowledge may be power, but it is only potential power. It needs to be properly organized and intellectually directed. So how do we actually do this? How do we organize this knowledge? How do we do that? So Article and Design conceptualize this creative mindset formula that guides you to perform. Next slide. First, you need to have the right mindset. So it goes like this: from right mindset to developing superpowers, then confidence, and then from confidence you have consistent action and then excellence. You can't skip from right mindset. Oh, I'm going to have the right mindset and then excellence, because you cannot have the excellence if you're not producing the desired result, if you're not taking action. So first, you need to have the right mindset. You need to actually believe you can do it. Like with your self-doubts, we can start by viewing them from an objective point of view. You can start by actually distancing yourself from the equation and by recognizing you are not your thoughts. You can do this by using the second point of view or the third person point of view, and by simply stating that I notice I'm feeling this way instead of saying I am this way, right? Because if you decide for yourself that you cannot do one thing, then you won't be able to actually do it yourself, because you've decided it. That's your mindset. That's the old mindset. That's the mindset you're trying to dispose. Now, it's common for us to falter or feel discomfort when we're starting with something unfamiliar. And that's entirely normal. You cannot have the confidence when you're ignorant of how things work. Like, for example, for me, I didn't know jack shit about SEO before. So I was frightened. I was like terrified. I'm like, for me, old paradigm, I could never be as good as a writer as this other freelance writers who know how SEO works. So that's the old mindset, right? I want to get rid of the mindset. How do I actually develop the new paradigm that I want to achieve? Okay, I need to equip myself with the right mindset first now. Okay, I can actually be as good as them if I take the right actions. Okay, what are the actions that I want to take? Oh, so that the intention is set. Okay, so I need to be able to learn what SEO is, how it actually fits in the freelancing world, how it works in marketing and all that. And then, so that's where I develop my superpowers. So by developing my superpowers, I can actually gain the confidence. Because what is confidence? Confidence is actually trust. It is your ability to actually produce your desired result. Because you cannot actually produce the desired result if you don't know anything about what you're doing, right? So once you have the confidence, you need to actually follow through. You need to have consistent action. The keyword there is consistent. Like I said, how are paradigms formed? They are formed through repetition. You do it day by day. You cannot do it just like once. Okay, this is day one of doing it. Well, I'm not gonna do it like another time this week. I'm just going to do it next week. How will your new paradigm form if you're not doing it consistently? Then you're still stuck in that in between. You're not actually shifting anything. You're just stuck there in the gray area. You can never actually gain the confidence because you're not doing it repeatedly. So that's really important, consistency. Because in order for you to actually be excellent, you need to put in the work. You need to do your due diligence, from having the right mindset and then developing your superpowers, putting in the keyword, developing your skills. Either that's through depth or through any coursework that you actually want to take. And then once you actually gain the confidence or you realize, oh, I can actually do this. I've learned SEO. I can actually practice SEO. And then you're confidently be able to say, oh, I'm Jules. I'm actually an SEO writer because I can practice the work itself. And then by producing the desired work, by being consistent in my craft, that's when I can say I can actually be excellent in this field that I'm undertaking. So the more confident you are, the more likely you can produce the results you want. And then it is your ability to be effective and produce the desired result. So what I have here next in the next slides is from some challenges from our members who actually participated in the Paradigm Shift Challenge from the past years. So we have here John Michael Costa Serino, who is a pioneer member of the article design community. So in the year one, actually, he decided to take upon illustration himself. And then in year two, he decided to, okay, I actually want to upgrade. I actually want to utilize more of my skills. So Kilo, or John Michael Serrano, is actually a photographer. So he decided, you know what, let me take upon myself stop motion. I'm going to do 21 days of doing stop motion. And then for 21 days consistently, it would be a different result. He didn't exactly show us how he was able to show his work, but he gave us the result per day by day. And this is his day one. And then for the next slide, Here we have Ivy Sabilo, who is actually here with us. So Ivy Sabilo is actually a pharmacy grad student who uh, likes to dabble in her creativity, as I would say. And then on her part-time shift challenge, she decided to take it upon herself to actually produce a creative output. So she, while actually studying for the boards, mind you, she decided to take upon a project for herself. This challenge for 21 days challenged herself creatively. So she studied different forms of media, studying different art forms. If you're part of the article design community Facebook group, you can see her progress from day 1 to day 21, from her sketches to studying film to studying art. And then later on, in the later slides, you can see what the result was in her undertaking. And then here we have Jerome Estimada. This is from his year 1 challenge, where he decided to take upon himself this digital art, since he's actually, if you see in the post here, he's more leaning on traditional art. So given that he's more conditioned to the traditional form of art, he wanted to challenge himself in using software illustrations like Photoshop, in order to develop his skill in the digital art form. So this is his day 1. So next slide. Here you can see a desired result from Ivy herself. She was able to create a 3D design of article design where she featured the logo. You can actually see this video, which is actually really good, given that she's actually self-taught. So just putting in the work, you can see here, just putting in the work for like 21 days, you can actually produce something. It's not just like a taboo thing. And then here you can see Jerome Astimada, in his creation, in the actual work, from like, you can see like the outline, Jerome was able to create or fidget something to actually 2 illustrations in his year 1. So even though he wasn't like as confident as he was before, but in putting in the work, you can actually see the desired result. So next. So in summary, you need to decide what kind of results do you want. That's inputting in the intention. And then when you apply the power of one thing, and then when you equip the right mindset, you follow through and take action. Like I said, you need to stay consistent. And then when you put in the commitment, like I said, like Margaret said, the discipline is vital. Eventually, you'll reach success. Now, you need to remember that you may not be able to make big life changes overnight, as this is only day 21, and but like you cannot actually by finishing like the day 21, you can just, okay, I'm done with this new mindset, I'm going to revert back to the old mindset, right? You need to actually commit. You need to follow through on one small thing every day. You can inch yourself closer and closer to the goal. Now, there are many ways to fail in life, but the only way to succeed is to actually be intention and to actually follow through on the intention. Like I said, it's not important. It's not enough for you to be well-intentioned. You need to embody the intention. So that's it for me. Margaret, you can follow through.
Wow. So guys, have you heard it? So if it's not enough that you have the right mindset, it's not enough that you're intentional. You need to embody it. Okay, you need to embody the intention. So wow, thank you so much, Jules. So you've heard what is a paradigm? How is it developed? Why are we programmed to have this specific belief system? And if this belief system is detrimental to our growth, we have the ability to actually switch that, toggle that into accepting a new paradigm, which is a new way of thinking, so that it could help us in our success as a freelancer or maybe a business owner. So the question now is, guys, are you happy with your results right now in your life or work? All right, you can say yes or no, or you can say, I wanted to do more, Margaret. So please let me know in the comments. Are you happy with your results right now in your life or work? So guys, this is not like a motivational speech, okay? There's a reason why we're asking this. I wanted to do more. I love it, okay? I love it, right? Because you guys, don't be satisfied, okay? I'm not saying that you don't have to be contented. I'm just trying to say is that, you know what? Try to push yourself to the limits, because the possibilities are endless. All right. So Ed said, I wanted to do more. That's good, Ed. So how about the others? Are you happy with your results right now with your life or work? yes, no. Yeah, I'm kind of happy, but you know what? I feel like there's something missing. That's what I told myself when I was in medical school, right? In law school as well. I'm okay. I'm okay studying. It's not too bad. It's not too shabby, guys, to become a lawyer or a doctor, right? I'm okay. But then again, I told myself, it's there's something missing. This is not me. All right. So Jules said a balance between yes and no, but I know I can be more accomplished. So the same goes with Ed. You wanted to do more. All right. So Jerome said no, but I'm happy that I can improve more as we are a work in progress every day. Exactly. That's the attitude. Okay. And that could probably be the reason, guys, why you're here in this paradigm webinar. So how about our new guests here? Veronica, Rodette, etc. So can you share in the comments what are your thoughts right now with probably if you're a student, if you're working, if you're a freelancer, are you happy with your results right now in life and work? Or same goes with Ed, do you want more? You wanted to do more? Do you think you can do more? Or do you think this is not the turf that you are? If you're a graphic designer, Margaret, I think I wanted to be a writer because I could like resonate more with writing. So Ivy said, I'd like to improve more in both sides of my passion, science and art. Wow. Okay. So all of you said that you wanted to do more. Okay. So guys, the challenge now is as you've learned all the lessons, a very important lesson, guys, paradigm shift is a massive concept. Actually, if you search for it on Google, if you search for it, there's a lot of teachings about paradigm shifts. But what we shared with you this time or tonight is only just the summary, okay, of the idea of the concept of changing your paradigms and how it affects your reality or your success in life. So the challenge now is learning won't be enough. We need to take action. As I've said, repetition. So what are you going to do now? So we are challenging you guys to make the shift. So we are challenging you to just stop thinking why you can't, start thinking how you can. All right. So how can you improve more? How could I create a balance? How could I be more feeling accomplished? Okay. So how could I feel enough? All right. How could I feel enough? How could I could tell myself, I mean, I'm enough. All right. But you know, guys, you'll never be enough sa totoo lang because you're gonna be insatiable. But that's a good attitude, honestly. So we are challenging you to join us on our 21-day paradigm shift challenge by changing our old paradigms and shifting that to a new paradigm. So what is the specs? Okay, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's actually what you think. As I've mentioned earlier, our thoughts affects our reality. So this is us last year. If you can see, guys, if you're familiar with the same faces here in our participants. So some of those of you are also here from last year's paradigm shift challenge. So this is us. So we are doing this again on this year 3. Please, are you with us? Are you joining us? So starting tomorrow, October 16 until November 5, in 21 days, our challenge is you have to make a decision that you're going to do things differently right here, right now. So follow the steps, okay? What Jules mentioned and how to create a new paradigm shift, how to develop a new shift, right? And you change your old paradigm into a new paradigm and choose one thing, which is one skill that, or one uncomfortable thing, that would be better actually, one uncomfortable thing that you wanted to develop or you wanted to do or you've been delaying. For example, you wanted to write blog posts, but you've been delaying that for the last 5 years, right? So you try that. You join this challenge in 21 days. You write your blog post, okay? So I suggest to give it a rhythmic approach. What do I mean? Whatever challenges that you wanted to do in this challenge, say, for example, I wanted to run everyday Margaret for 1 hour. So give it a rhythmic approach. Do it at the same time every day. For example, every 10 a.m. for 30 minutes, I'm going to run. Every 10 a.m. for 30 minutes, I'm going to write a blog post and post it on Medium. Okay, for example, every 10 a.m. for 1 hour, I'm going to do an illustration. I'm going to upload it on my YouTube channel. So it has to have a rhythmic approach to help you to be consistent. So we are challenging you to join us, guys, in our 21-day paradigm shift challenge, year 3. Our requirements is simple. Some of you are familiar with this. So each challenge is unique to you. It doesn't matter what you want. So my challenge is different from Jules, from Ivy, from Veronica, from Ed, from Jerome. So you can choose different challenges that you wanted to do in 21 days. Okay. The requirement is you have to post your progress so that we are all accountable every day on our Discord channel or server with image and caption so that we can check that you've really done it. Okay. Alam niyo yung ginagawa ng iba sa rat test nila, sa COVID rat test, pinipicture-picturean lang nila ng paulit-ulit, tapos yun yung sinesend, tapos absent sila. But that is the same rat test. Anyways, so I digress. What I'm trying to say is you progress us, all right? You post your progress every day on Discord so that we know that you're doing it. Okay? You have the accountability. Okay? So use these hashtags, super freelancers, paradigm shift, and article and design when you're posting your update. So on November 5th, which is the last day of our paradigm shift challenge, it is our awards night. It is our culmination. And there are prizes to be given away. All right? So our Discord server, guys, if you're not yet a member, just go to article and design. All right? Jules, can you share the Discord link if you have? Just go to article and design. So this is our Discord channel. So you can see here the channel 21-day challenges. And Ed and I, actually, and Ivy, we started some personal challenges before. So you upload and update your progress every day on that channel. All right. So if you don't have a Discord is just an app, guys. It's just like a messenger. It's really it's light. Okay, when you upload it and when you install it on your mobile phones or probably on your desktop. So it's just a light app that you can install. So join us on our Discord channel. That's the link, and upload your challenges every day. All right. So how to update Margaret? For example, this is how I updated on the first year of our paradigm shift challenge. So my challenge was to run every day for 30 minutes. So day 5, update of the challenge, blah, 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 blah. You can share some insights. You can share your struggles, your issues, your concerns, and of course, a picture of what you've done. Okay. For example, with Donna Faye, she joined the challenge last year. I forgot what is this, but I think she's trying to create a template. So day 3, she shared the templates that she has done. Okay. So that's just how easy it is to update. You don't have to, it's up to you guys. You can write a long story how your day went, or you can just write one-liner captions. Okay. So guys, who is up for the challenge? Are you up for the challenge again? All right. Comment ready if you're joining the challenge starting tomorrow. Guys, why tomorrow, Margaret? Why? It's too early, guys. The best time to start is actually yesterday. Okay? All right? The best time to start is yesterday. So if you haven't started, if you've been procrastinating something in your life, you can start now. So like not literally now, we can start tomorrow. Okay? So let's start tomorrow. Whatever time is it that you can accomplish, whatever time you told yourself that you're going to do the challenge, the most important thing here, before the end of the day, you have updated what you've done. Okay? So please join us. Adapt what we taught you here, how to change your paradigm, how it affects your paradigm, how it affects your work, how it affects your success as a freelancer. So please develop something, just one thing, and comment ready if you're joining. And guys, what to those here who are joining the challenge, ano yung challenge na pinaplano nyo? Jules, what is the challenge that you wanted to do? Ed, what is the challenge that you wanted to do?
Now that you've mentioned, it has to be something uncomfortable. I don't know.
So,
I was thinking,
guys, it's okay if it's comfortable for you, but as long as it is a challenge for you, then do it. If it's a challenge for you to actually,
no, it's. I wanted to. I was planning to meditate for 21 days because I haven't really developed this.
Yeah, that's true. So, Ed, what are your plans? Are you still thinking what challenge that you wanted to do? I'm still thinking about my part. Yeah, that's true. Because for those who are repeat challengers here, actually, uh, uh, for those who are paradigm shifters here, who's been joining us since day one, um, haven't you noticed that every year, we feel like we wanted to outwit, all right, what we've done before, right? For example, we wanted to be more than what we've done before. Like, for example, in my case, I've done 30 minutes running. So last year, I've done 1 hour. All right. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm going to do 2 hours running now. Please, no, I can't. I'm actually still thinking. So we have the whole night, actually, guys, to think. So Jerome said, expanding my vocabulary by posting the sample definition with a short write-up. Oh, I love it. So it's just like, yeah, Jerome planned to write and expand his vocabulary. That's good, Jerome. Okay. So in my case, actually, I'm still deciding if I'm going to run for 2 hours this time, or I'm going to complete podcast episodes, at least a series of podcast episodes, or probably I'm still thinking, guys. You will know tomorrow when I upload it in our Discord server. So, guys, you have the whole night to decide, and we're looking forward to your challenges starting tomorrow. So there's a prize giveaway on the 5th of November. We're going to send you the link on how to join our awards night. Okay, so our resources for tonight, guys, we didn't just pick this up somewhere else. We have our resources and valid ones, okay, to be exact. It is by Dr. Joey Dispenza, by Bob Proctor, and of course, Dr. Randy Carlson. So it is adapted from these teachings or concepts from their books and of course from our experiences. All right. So if you're happy with what you've learned tonight, please, guys, leave us a feedback or testimonial. Just go to articleondesign.com, submit. Jules, can you send the link, please, in the chat room? So if you're happy, guys, we ask you to please leave a feedback or testimonial to this link. It will greatly help the Article on Design community. It will help us to provide more content to you, or probably to improve our content. All right. So again, I'd like to invite you to our upcoming A&D Zoom Connections, which is a free webinar on November 12th, 2022, 2 p.m. the Philippines or Singapore, or if you're in Australia, that's 5 p.m. A free webinar with Rad Punzalan, or guest speaker, which is who is the founder of Redefining Concepts, your multi-potential selves, or easily organizing your many interests. So if you're having a hard time, okay, I wanted to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, how can we streamline that into one multi-potential self? So that is on November 12th, 2 to 3 p.m. in the Philippines. Please register on this link, www.articleondesign.com/events, and just click to register. All right, so that is on November 12th. So we will see you there. So thank you again for your time, everyone. Thank you for staying with us.